I hope you are doing well, handling your food coma. You are not going to fall asleep. So in the morning, we were on the top of a mountain. We looked at the landscape of mental health, doctoral education, digitization. Now in the second half of the day, we go down to the mine. So we really look at one potential way, a very practical way to deal with doctoral education with the help of AI. We're going to showcase you the project, the Oscar project, where we developed an AI solution. We use this AI solution with some didactics. And yeah, we're going to go through all these steps, and we're going to showcase you what did we learn from this journey. In order to do this, we will have a number of presentations, and after the presentations, you can ask your questions again. In this session, in the next session, that will be a very hands-on informal session where you can sit around these tables and ask project members and get more information about what they did, how did they do it, for instance, how the technology works, how the interventions worked, what did we learn from these interventions, how did we evaluate it, how did we evaluate our approach, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this will be the program for this afternoon. And with this, let's start. Yeah, and basically this story is about the power of the network, because these people who have been working in this project are closely related partly to the ReMO project, closely related to other organizations of researchers like the Marie Curie Alumni Association. And this sort of networking made possible to come up with the ideas and the activities what we're going to showcase now. To start with, what was the motivation? I think you wouldn't be surprised, or you're not surprised, that one of the motivators is to improve the career aspects of researchers. And back in that agenda goes back to 2018, when the Marie Curie Alumni Association, together with Eurodoc, published a document which is called the Declaration on Sustainable Researcher Careers. It's actually a relatively successful document. I just checked yesterday, almost 10,000 people downloaded, hopefully read this document. But it's originated from the discussion of this community. So back in 2019, we had a symposium on researcher careers. We thought, oh, it's like it's a similar type of event. 40 people come, we have a discussion about how to improve our researcher prospects. But suddenly 400 people showed up on this consultation. And we thought, oh, this is like something special. Let's try to make use this momentum and collect all these ideas, problems, create some sort of blueprint, what institutions, communities should do in order to improve researcher careers. And this is where the end result of this consultation round was the declaration. And the declaration has 4 main points. The first point is that we think institutions and communities should provide sustainable career prospects for researcher. This is through long-term, predictable, and sustainable research funding, early involvement of potential future non-academic employers in the doctoral research phase, and implementing some sort of career progress tracking systems. The second point was to deploy career management services at organizations which are actually employing researchers. And this is important in order to support individual career pathways. We thought that career guidance should be present very early in the doctoral education phase. So almost like starting your doctoral studies or doctoral research program with the discussion, why are we here? What are we going to do with this project? What will happen after the contractual period of this project? And last but not at least, researchers need to be trained on how to reflect on their own skill sets, because oftentimes our community, we believe that we're not worth it. We have this impostor syndrome. But actually, if you went through 4 or 5 years of training in research, you actually have a lot of very valuable skills. What you need to recognize, but you need to have those skills as well to recognize those skills what you have. Point number 3, put more emphasis on transferable skills training and recognition. This is something what we discussed in the morning. It includes issues like enriched researcher training with transferable skills training. We have to show that excellence in transferable skills and community engagement should be part of researchers' regular performance evaluation. And when it comes to training research projects, maybe it's worth having dedicated deliverables for this type of competency development. And last but not at least, we believe that our communities and institutions should provide a wide variety of networking options and services in and outside of academia. Why is it a good thing? Like the example of the OSCAR project or the ReMO project shows quite well that this type of activities can really push our communities forward, generate new ideas, generate funding even for those ideas. So we believe that support researchers' inter and intra-sectoral mobility is important. This should be systemic, and we have to also think about how to bridge cultural differences among researchers or members of networks. So this was one motivator, the career side, but of course the other side as well, researcher well-being. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we discussed most of these issues in the morning, but I just want to point you towards this document. I think Stefan showed this as well. It's called the Researcher Mental Health and Wellbeing Manifesto. In this document, the ReMO community, again, collected the most important points what institutions, policymakers, or individual researchers should be aware of when it comes to mental health and well-being. And it also gives some sort of roadmap, what actions we can do in order to improve the situation. And in OSCAR, we focused on the personal level of the picture. So we call for researcher empowerment. So we were trying to provide a tool for researchers and institutions which can do exactly that, help to empower researchers. So we do that through the OSCAR project. It's an Erasmus Plus project, 3 years long. We started back in 2020. The budget was not huge. It's almost 500,000 euros with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 partners, including the TIB. This is my institution. We led this project. The partners for University of Siegen, ReMO, the Marie Curie Alumni Association, SciLink, CULP, and Eurodoc. And the aim was, in one sentence, providing personalized training on researcher mental health and career development by using AI-based learning recommendations and online mentoring. So what did we do in this project? Basically, we had 6 main outcomes. First, we created something called like a theoretical and conceptual framework, like how to actually tackle this problem. Then we focused on the technology. We implemented the AI system, what I will show you in a moment, which is an open system. So actually everything what I will show you is open, available for everyone. It's open source, and even the content is open. So we try to be as open with these activities as possible. And then based on this technology, we try to find out what is the best didactical way to implement it in an educational setting. Just the technology itself, it's valuable, but not valuable enough. So you really need the didactics. You really need to understand the context where you apply this technology. And there we had 2 work packages. the researcher mental health training and mentoring program. So we were building up a coaching mentoring program for the area of mental health, and we did the same for the area of career development for researchers. Then we organized pilots where we invited researchers in our and beyond our community, where we tested this technology and this methodology. And we are at the stage of evaluating and exploiting the results. So all the results are available on the project website, oscarai.eu. Feel free to reach out through this QR code, but of course the slides will be circulated. So if you miss this QR code, no problem. We will send around the slides. So everything, again, all project results are available on a public domain. So how does this personal learning environment work? So we use the system called eDoer. This is something what my team at TIB develops. It's an open, community-based, AI-driven learning platform, and it works the following way. So basically, on the top, you see the learner perspective, what a learner does in our system. And it's actually quite simple. What the learner does is first set his or her own learning objectives, learning goal. What does he or she wants to learn? Then once this is done, our system starts recommending the person a curriculum, which fits to his or her context. And this curriculum comes in form of courses. Okay, when the person said, oh, I'm interested in this or that course, then the system will start recommending topics. What topics do you require in order to complete that course? And last but not at least, the system will recommend very specific learning content, openly available learning content for all those topics. We implemented tools so learners can actually monitor their progress when it comes to learning. And then, it's not, this whole procedure is not carved in stone. So you can always go back to the beginning, modify your goals, modify your progress, modify the way you want to make progress. So this is the learner side. But on the other side of the story, we have experts. And these experts work together with our intelligent algorithms to build up the knowledge base, and not only to build up, also to validate this knowledge base, what is offered for the learners to learn from. So the experts, they are creating the sort of model curriculum, and they create learning journeys, they create courses, they create learning topics, and attach content to the learning topics with the help of these algorithms. So the algorithms are always recommending something to the experts, recommending the parts of the curriculum, recommending topics, but also recommending very specific learning content. So if you expert, you want to start implementing a course on research data management, then the system will tell you, okay, these are the most important concepts, topics, what you should cover. These are the openly available learning content which cover the topic. And basically the task of the expert is really validate these recommendations and put together this knowledge base, what then the learners can use. So how does this work in reality? And now I would like to start a demo. So if we can, I will share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So first, what I will show, this is what we call the legacy eDoer system. All the experimentations and studies, what we did in this project, we did with this interface. However, this is the interface what we will discontinue in the next few weeks, because we're already incorporating the lessons learned, what we learned from all the studies we carried out, and we improve this service. Okay, but I will show you what our learners had to do. So they had a learner dashboard in our study, and in the learner dashboard, they had to add these courses: stress management, goal setting, career planning, finding a work-life balance. And then what we asked them is, go ahead, study these courses, think about your questions, your problems, your issues while you are studying this program, report those problems for us, and then based on these problems, issues, what you were facing through your journey, we will organize mentoring, small group coaching sessions, and we will discuss your problems. So they, on one hand, use this system to learn themselves in their own pace, in their own way. And then we created a space where they could reflect on how this learning went and what did they achieve, and what questions they still have. And from the learner point of view, it's actually a very simple way to learn. You click on a course, and then you see here the topics, what topics you need or should or can learn. So for instance, here, the yellow means this is a topic where currently the user focuses on. It's stress management, how to start. And on the other side, on the right-hand side, you see a recommendation from the system. And this recommendation is personal. It's only for that specific person, because the recommender system considers the context of the user. Like, who is this person? Where is this person located? What type of learning preferences this person has? What was the activity of the learners in the system? So every single person is potentially receiving a different recommendation here. And all what the learner has to do is click on the content, and then you will be taken, if the internet works, yeah, here, you will be taken to this content, and you can study the content, and you can just progress on your learning. If you don't like this content, you can ask for a new one. You can ask for another recommendation from the system, and this is how you move on. Here you see all the upcoming topics, what you can learn. If you don't like the order, you can reorder as you wish. And here you have some means to get feedback from your learning journey. At the end, we asked people to deposit their problems and their issues through the system. So they had to push this button and ask for help. So this is what the learners had to do. We gave them like a morning. They went through the topics, what they were interested in, and they submitted their questions. And in the afternoon, they took part of this coaching mentoring sessions where we discussed what did they learn, how was it, and yeah, if there are any problems, questions regarding the topic they selected. And of course, these were small groups. So we also try to match these people according to the problems they have discussed, or the problems they stated here in the system. So it's also a grouping activity, some sort of community building activity in the background, happened in the background. Okay, also you can do assessment. So it's possible for these people to self-assess themselves in stress management, so they can sort of monitor their progress. Let's say if they are stressful, they can continuously fill these tests, and then you can see how they progress when it comes to their stress management skills. So this is the learner side. And I quickly want to show you how does it look like from the content curator side, so from the expert side. So how AI helps the expert to build up this curriculum, what the learner actually uses. So here you see a learning journey on researcher mental health. This learning journey consists of a number of courses: awareness of well-being, finding work-life balance, stress management, emotional regulation. And this is what the expert can modify, either manually, adding a new course, or the AI is always there to suggest you and provide you with new ideas. And the algorithms, they are sort of constantly mining big databases on the internet. Like, we will talk about knowledge graphs soon, but in this version, we used, for instance, vacancy mining. So we looked at what type of labor market related information is out there, and we try to make use of that information. And in the latest version, we are already using large language models to provide this type of recommendations. And then as an expert, you can go deeper. Let's say I click on the stress management course. Here, the expert can manage all the topics which are related to stress management. And again, the system recommends topics which may not be part of this curriculum yet. Again, this is real time. So the system is constantly monitoring what is in here and tries to give recommendations. And the same happens with the content. So now I'm in a topic. Here already have 3 packages of content, and the system recommends more content. What I, as an expert, can look at and say, oh, this is nice, I add this to this content pool. This is not nice, I neglect it. And like this, with this interaction, the expert and the AI together nicely build up this knowledge base. And this is what then the learners can use as they wish in their own learning context. So I very quickly show you the new learner dashboard, which is again already available under learn.edoer.eu. Here, we learned already that the interface should be simplified and should be far easier for learners, and this is what we are trying to do. This interface is already available as an app in the Android store, so you can download and use it on your mobile phone. It will soon be available as an iOS app as well, and of course, as a web application. And here, if I look simply at the stress management course, here you see already the recommendation, and here all the topics what one has to or should or can master. The same with like goal setting. You see what amount of time a person needs to complete this this content. And very simply, again, I'm not going to click on this, but if you click on it, then you will be taken to this content and you can learn. And here are the other content. So I think you understand how does it work. And all these recommendations are personal, and it's for the person himself or herself. Good. We go back to the presentation now.